Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. The two rifles I have displayed before you here today, they carry the same rifle manufacturer, Browning. They carry the same caliber, 25-06, but I use them for vastly different purposes. So stick around folks, I'll be right back in a minute and we'll go over these rifles and then we'll get out to shooting as well. That I have in front of you today are both Brownings. Browning BBR bolt-action rifle and Browning BAR Safari, a semi-automatic. Now, I have both of these rifles for different functions. Obviously, the BBR gets shot a lot more because I do my load development in it. When I'm working up loads, sometimes you can get excessive pressure, and a bolt-action rifle with its locking lugs is going to keep you more safe and not necessarily cause problems with the rifle. The BAR, on the other hand, is designed to do fast follow-up semi-automatic. It has a gas piston system in it, but if you're over pressure or if you even make a mistake, there are some rather peculiar and particular parts inside the gas system that can cost you quite a bit of money if you have to repair it. Specifically on the buffer system of the gas system is a polymer plastic, hard plastic insert, if you will, that acts as a buffer. It can become hardened over time, it can crack, it can actually break, which would then make the rifle inoperable and cost quite a bit of money to go ahead and get fixed. The gas system itself is a piston system, which means that it's not venting any gas anywhere except for inside the piston itself. So that kind of can make it malfunction a little bit quicker without a lot of cleaning. And it's unlike an AR or that type of semi-automatic, which is a gas impingement system. This eats its own gas and can gum up rather quickly. So this rifle I use for testing. This rifle I have hunted with. It is a very accurate rifle, and you've probably seen this rifle in action on some of my videos. The Browning BAR I use strictly for hunting, so it gets maybe 20 to 30 rounds per year shot through it. And I do kind of baby it. As you can kind of see, it's a real pretty rifle, and it was a gift from my wife 3 years ago. Alright, so enough talk. I am going to be working up some loads in the Browning BBR today out at the range, and you'll see that. And I'm going to follow up that, just with some existing loads that I have with the BAR so that you can see the difference. I'll chronograph them both, and we'll have some data for you. So let's get out, let's get shooting. Okay, first up is the testing with the Browning BBR. Now, this is going to be kind of like a mad scientist experiment because the powder that I'm using is StaBall 6.5. Now, Hornady bullets that I'm using, the ELDX 110 grain, there's no data on it. But Hodgson does show StaBall 6.5 with 100 grain and 117 grain. So you can kind of see I'm right in the middle there with 110 grain. Now, I'm working up cautiously. I'm going by what the seating arrangement is, the bullet seating arrangement is in the Hornady book, but not with this powder. So again, that's another reason to use a bolt-action rifle that has a tight lockup and extremely strong, is because we don't know. But I'm going to give you the information. So I'm going to go down and set up the target camera, and let's get to shooting. Okay, let's give the StaBall 6.5 a try. I'm going at in between there, the starting load and the max load. Be the target on the right. Now, some people ask me about this scope. Listen, I bought this scope over 25 years ago. It's what they call a Redway scope. It was sold by a box store. I can't even tell you which one. It has a front parallax. It is a 6 by 24 by 42. Okay, so lower target on the left. .29-48. That's about right in line. Everything's fine. Now I should be about 30-50, maybe even 3100 toward the top end, but let's see. Ew, that looks nasty. 28-38. Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. 29-44. Okay, now I'll just show you the last 3, kind of speed this up a little bit. Don't worry, you'll see the synopsis on the target at the end. Okay, well, let me go take care of that, let the barrel cool down, record this data, move on. Well, here's the last 3. Not every shooting session turns out like you want it to, but I am experimenting with this StaBall 6.5 in my Browning BBR 25-06 with 110 grain ELDX. So far, not worth a crap. Alright, the last group was acceptable, 3/4 of an inch, but the standard deviation, all of these numbers are way off. Standard deviation of 30, extreme spread of 61. I'm not going to blame that on a warm barrel, but sometimes a warm barrel can also tell you about the powder that you're using. This barrel is extremely hot after just 3 rounds. But, you know, I need to get this test done, so let's move on. Temperature out here is about 85 degrees. There's a good little breeze that's coming off the river. Kind of acts like an old swamp cooler, so even though it might be blowing my bullets around, it feels good on my body. Alright, here's the last 3. It'll be the upper, lower target on the right. Yeah, still below 3,000. And I'm about 0.8 of a grain below what's listed for the 117 grain, and far below what would even be listed in speed for even the 120. Alright, 30-22. See, that standard deviation is clear off. So that's another reason I didn't shoot these in my Browning BAR, is because these are not stable enough, or I should say consistent enough for what I'm after. But your situation may be different, so feel free to put it in the comment section. And if I didn't tell you before, the target's at 100 yards. Okay, last shot. Yep, 29-47. Okay, well, I'll switch over to the BAR now and shoot just a couple of rounds for you, and then we'll analyze that target at the end. but so far, I don't give a crap. It's not really good. Okay, now my Browning BAR. I have not fired this rifle in 2 years, and so I've got a real cold, clean barrel here. This rifle is 2 for 2 on deer, but again, hasn't been shot in 2 years because I have too many other rifles to test. So, well, you can never have too many, but you know what I mean, for those of you that have the same affliction. Alright, so it'll be the target on the left. You're going to see 3 holes already in there that I've marked. That was from the BBR getting it sighted in. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. The scope on here is a 16 power. Ejected real nice, reloaded the next round. Okay. Ejected real nice, loaded the next round. These bullets that I'm using on here, again, I worked up that load for those 2 years ago, and I think you can see they're just fine. Oh, that one went awry, didn't it? Okay, let's just see if that was me. Let's go ahead and put another round through there. This could be just one of those off days. Who knows? I don't think if you don't have an off day, you don't shoot enough. Okay. Alright, so you saw that. Let's go ahead and analyze that target briefly, because it really is not something to brag about. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, let's go over this target real quick. These were the first 3-sighter rounds for the BBR. You know, I adjusted the scope down for that last shot. And that was with this same load, this 110 ELDX with reloader 23 at 41.5 grains. Then you can see these 4 shots were with the BAR. So in my opinion, that load was worked up for the BAR. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to discuss StaBall 6.5 with 110 grain ELDX and my Browning BBR and how did it work out. It did not work out. Average 2910, SD of 62, first 3 shots, 2-inch group. Alright, then an average 2963, an SD of 48, 1.25-inch group. Alright, then an SD of 30, an average of 20, 965, only 2 feet per second faster on a 1/2 grain increase in powder charge. But a little bit better group, 3/4 of an inch. Then over here, 2995, an SD of 31, and that opened up to about a 1-inch group. So quite frankly, am I going to explore this powder anymore? No, I'm not. Not at least for the 25-06, but it certainly does work well in my 6.5 Creedmoor. All right, folks, not much to learn here today except for what to rule out, But if you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I invite you to do that, please. Leave a comment if you will. But no matter what, God bless you all. See you again next time. Goodbye.